Obey God's orders. Hello, I'm Anthony Michael Giarrusso. I have done an interview with God, and also I am planning on doing more interviews with other entities as well. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask God on your behalf, please email me at wondersofAnthony@gmail.com, and I will ask God your question or questions, and I will put them in a different recording, and I will upload this recording with your questions. If you have any questions directly for me, please use the same email address, wondersofAnthony@gmail.com. I am Anthony Michael Giarrusso, here observing and reporting what God has told me. And now I'm letting you know what God has told me. Remember, A, B, or C. A, 100% of what God has told me is true and that I am communicating with God. B, I'm being partially deceived and not everything that has been told to me by whatever this entity is might be impostering God. Some of it might not be true. Or maybe this is a real imposter of God telling me 100% lies. All I know is that this entity that I've been communicating with claims that the Jersey Devil is not real. And this entity also claimed that what people call Krampus, or the Krampus, is also not real. All I know is I'm being communicated to by some kind of entity here to tell you this. And I really do think it is God, so I'm just going to label it as God, at least for the current time, for this particular point in time of my life. I asked God, how are humans going to go extinct? God told me, it will be because of greedy and ridiculous sinners. About 100 to 200 years after you die, Anthony, a war over and in the waters of the earth, there will be a devastating naval cut. I'll just reread that. God replied, it will be because of greedy and ridiculous sinners. About 100 to 200 years after you die, Anthony, a war over and in the waters of the earth, there will be devastating naval battles between navies of the world. It will be a bloodbath of people. Weapons creating storms at sea, drones, ships. Alright, I'll just start over. Weapons creating storms at sea, drones, ships, submarines will devastate many countries. This is not the end of the world, but this is a maritime-based war that will be the catalyst for secret societies to have their revenge stemming from this war, which leads to controlled famines and controlled financial and economic recessions, which the countries participating in, all of these countries were engaged in the maritime war. I asked, could you just stop the war before it begins? God replied, no. Humans falsely claim that I can do everything. They falsely believe their own expectations. Not every person will be saved. Miracles will not happen only to these who have not abandoned me and those who know that I am God. I asked, how long do you think the earth will last? God replied, about 300 billion more earth years. I asked, will humans go extinct before 300 billion more years? God said, yes. Save yourselves. I will save the afterlife and transfer some of them to another planet. I cannot save the living. If the humans went extinct on Earth, I will repopulate the Earth with humans I am able to create anyway. When will humans go extinct? I asked. God replied, the naturally born humans from my creation will go extinct in about 17,000 Earth years from now. However, humans that I have the ability of creating, I will repopulate this same planet with humans that I have the ability of creating. A new Adam will have to be created. However, all the spirits that didn't make it into paradise or hell will get to reside on the planet for hundreds of billions of years before any risk of disappearing. Only the spirits who believe in me, the one true God, will be transferred to another planet. Everyone else will disappear with the planet hundreds of billions of years in the future. I asked God, do you dance? God said, yes, we can dance anywhere. I asked, should humans feel guilty for their sins? God said, yes, it is the human's punishment. I asked, is the Bible 100% accurate? God said, no, the Bible is not 100% accurate. I asked, is the Quran 100% accurate? God said, no, it is not 100% accurate. And neither is the Torah. I asked, are all Christians, Jews, and Islamicists brothers and sisters? God said, yes, you are all brothers and sisters. I asked, is the Holy Spirit real? God said, yes, that is me. I am the Holy Spirit, Anthony. I asked, does that mean you're dead? God said, yes, I am dead. When conversating with God, God said, there are only angels on your planet and no other planet. Angels are in heaven, your planet, and hell. All other examples. Wait, what? This is confusing because that's not what God told me. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong here. So this is a strange contradiction. I was conversing with an entity who claimed to be God, and this has contradicted things about the angels, and now I'm really confused. But I'll report this anyway because it's important for you to know what was being said. Some entity claimed that when conversating with God, there are only angels on your planet and no other planet, which is a contradiction from what I heard before. Angels are in heaven, your planet, and hell. All other examples that seem like angels to other entities are fakes and replicas. Some are evil, some are neutral. There are no loving fake angels. There are no loving replica angels. So maybe I'm communicating with God now, and maybe the other entity was a fake God, or I don't know, something's going on here. This is really bizarre. I asked, can neutral fake angels or neutral replica angels help humans? Or maybe I'm just misunderstanding this information. Maybe when I was saying angels before, God was just referring those angels as the fake angels or the replica angels. I don't know. This is really bizarre now because of the contradiction here. I asked, can neutral fake angels and neutral replica angels help humans? God replied, yes, they can, but that is not their main objective. They will only help humans if it suits their objective or if unintended. Evil, fake, and evil replica angels will never help humans. There is only God. There is no neutral or evil God. I asked, are there other densities? The blue avians claimed that they are in another density. God replied, there are over 7,000 densities. But remember, A, B, or C, it's either all real, B, some of it's true and some of it's lies, or C, none of it's real. And this is really confusing because of this contradiction about the angels. So I don't know if I'm talking with the real God now and wasn't before, or if I'm talking with the real God from before. I don't know. I'm really confused right now. But there's obviously something going on here. God said, I created Ostu and Atu to be guards of Christ. However, they created forest humans before Christ. I asked, did you want Ostu and Atu to create forest humans? God said, yes, I wanted to see the difference between my creation and theirs. Can Ostu and Atu, forest humans, go to paradise? God said no. They are not of my creations. They are not of my creations that are not linked to me directly. You have an opportunity to come to heaven because your descent is of my direct creations. Okay, I think I'm talking to the real God now. And I asked God about how Atu and Ostu created these forest humans, and God said they were put into the same mold, and humans, they were put into the same mold as humans are generated into the mold. It grows in the mold for about 40 Earth years. Then Atu and Astu would take them out of the molds to create the forest humans. I would take them out to create my creation, the humans. Then I put them on Earth. Do you put the forest humans on Earth? No, that is Atu and Astu's responsibility. I am responsible for my own creations. I asked how many humans did you create, and was Adam the first? God replied, I created more than 700,000 humans, and Adam was the first human created. Most were created by natural birth. Some were clones by me, angels and humans. Some were created unnaturally by Astu and Atu, who are guards, not gods. And they did that to create the forest humans with dark brown skin. I asked, where can the forest people go? God said, all humans can go to hell or earth. Astu and Atu created the only planet, and one only planet, and it is more like an upscale Earth, but doesn't even compare to heaven, and that is where the forest people go when they die. Or they could come back to this Earth, or they could go to hell. God said this. In human terms, an example of Astu and Atu's world is like comparing a Chevrolet, which represents Earth, and Astu and Atu's world is like a Buick. My creation of paradise, which is better than a Rolls Royce, and is more like a billionaire's luxury jet aircraft, and comparing that as paradise and comparing Earth as continuing as the Chevrolet, my paradise is extremely better than Atu and Astu's world that they created for their forest humans. Earth and paradise are on two totally different levels. Remember, I am God, the great creator, and have made over 700 billion places better than Earth. But none of them are compatible with humans, and over 800 trillion places worse than Earth and better than hell. Hell was almost a perfect clone of Earth until the devil corrupted it and is now lost its status and is about on the worst 100,000 places I've ever made in comparison after the devil's corruption of that world. There are plenty of worse places than hell, but are not compatible with humans. So, you, Anthony, do not need to worry unless if you do something so evil that it makes me need to send you there. You are most likely either going to inherit Earth like most of my creations, or join me in paradise. And I will save this for later. Make sure to go find part 12 of this amazing interview with God.